Hello and welcome back to Genesis Designs and Modelcraft, and welcome back to Chatterbox yet again. I'm just here with another quick one to advise of some more bargains that I found whilst out and about looking at Amazon on my laptop. So firstly then, the drill bits. I was in the act of making up Amazon links for the last Modelling for Beginners video, and I wanted to link the drill bits that I use, which I've just put away like a fool. Which are these? And these sets start at 0.3mm and go up to about 1.2. Let me just double check. Should be 1.5 maybe? Yeah, 1.2. So these go from 0.3mm to 1.2mm in 0.1 increments, which is great. But whilst I was finding a link to those drill bits, I found these, which appear very similar, but if you look at the label, these start at 0.1 and finish at 1mm. And this set, which again obviously I will link for everyone, there's a drop down menu at the side and you can choose which 10 you want. I've never seen a 0.1mm drill bit before, so I ordered some, and my goodness, can you see it? Yeah, I think you'll probably get about 3 uses out of that before you snap it, unless you're so careful. But yeah, 0.1, 0.2, 0.3 and up to 1mm, which I think is fab, because accurately and confidently drilling very small holes is not easy unless you have reasonably decent drill bits, and despite the low price, these actually are reasonably decent. They're certainly worth what they cost. That being actually £6 for this set, so very reasonable. They are not tool making quality, I am more than happy to say that from the outset, but they're definitely worth the asking price in my opinion. So I just wanted to point those out for you. And secondly, on a similar mercy mission, there was a comment on the latest Modelling for Beginners video about scalpels. Now I use, as you all probably are more than well enough aware, the Swan Morton number 3 handle with the associated blades, and the blades I use are the number 11, which is the pointy one, and the number 15, which is the small rounded tipped version. This handle is basically as old as I am, which is pretty old. This one is much more modern and much less nice in the hand. It's much less well made, but it fits the same blades. And these are the two that I habitually use. So somebody asked the question. Now, I don't know how to say this username or if it's even supposed to be a word, but it's DIGEGR61. So DIGEGR61 was asking, fresh back into modelling, had bought a starter set of a handle and blades, was running out of blades and wondered what I might suggest. So I was looking on Amazon, and the Swan Morton handle comes out at about £6–7, but the blades on Amazon at least are only sold in boxes of 100, which is a box which has 20 sachets of 5 blades each in it. And a lot of model shops do in fact sell the packs which look like this, which have got 5 blades inside for a few quid a go. But Amazon doesn't, only sells them in 100s, which is fine by me. I'm well established in my use of the Swan Morton system, and I'm happy to buy 100 blades at a time. But if you're sort of starting back into the hobby, maybe your budget's a bit limited, I'm sure you'd rather buy a model kit with that 20 quid than buy 100 scalpel blades, which will last years admittedly, but you may not end up liking that blade type or whatever and wasting, you know, a somewhat significant amount of money. So in the course of my searching around, I found these, which I thought were very interesting and worth sharing, so I bought some. They're also cheap. So this is a brand called Surgiclass. Precision is our profession, as you can see here. Now this set is 5 handles. Here they are. And this is a plastic handle with a retractable number 11 blade, which appears to be removable, but clearly these are designed to be disposable. 5 whole scalpel blades with, scalpel handles with blade, retractable, for £5.99. Plenty cheap enough, I think, to have a try to see if you like this blade style. And quite honestly, literally cheap enough to be disposable and what have you. Also, on a side note, these are quite handy if you travel around a little bit, if you model on the move, so to speak, or if you go to club with a small set of tools or what have you, have a little extra toolbox. These are cheap enough and handy enough that you could stick them in there. They're not going to get dulled or snapped by rattling around in the box, and they'll be quite safe if you're putting your hand in the box fishing around looking for something. You're not going to cut yourself open. They are available with various different blade types, but as I say, £5.99 for these plastic ones with the retractable blade. I thought that worth sharing. And then the same company or the same brand offer this little set here. In this natty little Ziploc bag. And here we have a Surgiclass handle, branded as a number 3. So this is a metal handle, as you can see, complete with 10 number 11 blades, and this comes out at £4.99. So for a £5, a handle and 10 blades, and if I'm not mistaken, I think you'll struggle to get 10 Swan Morton blades for much less than a £5. The handle itself is cheaply made, it's stamped, it's not very nicely finished. I don't know if anybody would expect it to be for that price. So the edges are a little bit harsh, but I got a sort of coarse sanding stick and just went along the edges and smoothed it all out a bit, and it's okay. Haven't tried a blade on it yet, so let's have a look at this then. Same kind of plasticised foil pack as you get with Swan Morton. And here's the blade. If I get a Swan, well, I'll just use this one that's already on the handle. Comparing that to Swan Morton, it's very similar. I think maybe slightly smaller, but not a lot in it. But I wanted to see if a Swan Morton blade would fit this handle. I don't want to cut my fingers, so I shall use pliers. And the answer is yes, it does. So it is a number 3, and it does fit Swan Morton blades, which does mean, in theory, that this other brand blade should fit the Swan Morton handle. And it absolutely does. There you go. To find something to whittle. Slightly more flexible feel to it than the Swan blade to me. Let's put it back in its same brand holder. So there you go. Just a little heads up. And as you'd expect, I mean, it is a scalpel at the end of the day. It cuts, it's sharp. How long the blades will last, I can't say. I've literally just got this, but I was so surprised by the price. I had to share it. Either as a source for a new handle and a tryout of the number 3 handle and blades at less cost, or indeed somewhat cheaper blades if you're already a Swan Morton user. This is probably worth a look, I think. And as I say, £4.99 for the handle and 10 blades on this one. Alright, next up I got a little goodie bag. Here it is. Regulars will remember the paint test I did recently with Mr. Paint SMS and the new AK interactive lacquer paints. And a few people said I needed to get some Outlaw paints to try. I was unable to get any in time for the video, but I bumped into Moz 610 at the Avon show in person, and he told me off for not responding to his email. So I had emailed the Sales at Outlaw address, and I didn't see a reply, but he said he replied immediately. It must have gone in my spams, I didn't see it. Anyway, he said please re-email me and I'll send you some stuff out post haste, and here it is. So Moz 610, if you don't know, is also a YouTuber. He has a channel, a much bigger channel than me, but he also, in partnership with another fellow, is the importer for the Outlaw paints. And this is what he sent. So there's a handy dandy little fold up doodad. If you go to shows, please do not touch the scale models, but it's also got Outlaw branding on it. Some Moss merch there, a lovely sticker. These are really good quality actually. Don't blame the kit, always dry fit. Sound advice. Outlaw sticker and another Moss 610 sticker. There you go, that's him. Oh, he's 6'5", my bad. Oops. So give him a look, and you also get this to put on the door handle of your modelling area, the shed, the man cave, whatever. It's an Outlaw Paints do not disturb sign, which on the back says keep out spraying Outlaw paints. I like that. Also in the box, made in Japan, a little roll of Nichiban, dare I say it, kabuki tape in a rather fetching pale blue shade. I'm assured this fits in the Tamiya snail, not precisely but well enough to work, and I'll try that out once my current Mr. Guns one has run out. But on to the paints. So a small selection of Outlaw paints to have a go at. A set of Ozcam for Australian vehicles, which comes with camouflage brown, camouflage black and camouflage green, and then a couple of British colours, Royal Air Force dark slate grey and Royal Air Force light aircraft grey, which I will do a test on these. I did want to try them out, so these will get their own video at some point in the relatively near future. But in the meantime, I would like to extend a big thank you to Moz and his business partner at outlawpaints.co.uk for sending these out to me. And finally, just to round out this bargain bin of a Chatterbox, I just wanted to remind everybody about the stupidly cheap ICM biplane sets still available at modelsforsale.com. Vince has still got a good old handful of those, and he has had a restock and does have a good amount of this kit in stock at $19.99. If anybody's still thinking about following along but hasn't got a kit yet, or indeed is enjoying following along and fancies a second one for later, he has got a bunch of these, this boxing and a couple of the others, at $19.99, as well as actually several of the newer or more modern new tooled Airfix kits at very good prices, similarly good prices I'll say. So that's it for this episode of Bargain Hunt, Chatterbox. I will put the links below for these products off of Amazon. Do look out for an Outlaw paint review in future, and thanks very much for watching. I hope it was useful. And with all of that said, I think it only remains for me to say, look after yourselves, look after each other, and Genesis out.